And now, your main event. Introducing the hosts of Wrestling with Freddie, Jeff Dye, and Freddie Prinze Jr.
All right, dude. CM Punk's pretty good at talking to people. And he's a pretty good actor. He can give you the happy promo. He can give you the sad promo. He can give you the mean promo. I've never seen him do a funny one. He doesn't seem like a funny guy. But everything else he's got wired. And he's pissed off at a fat little snake, as he called him. Paul Heyman, and he was way pissed, and Heyman struts out like he's going to do something, and CM Punk's like, yeah, let's go, you motherfucker, you going to do something? Get out of here. And he's like, nah, I'm just playing. It's Seth Rollins and this dude, Bron Breakker, who's going to kick the shit out of you, so don't even trip. And this was, it's hard to say promos are top promos when guys get interrupted, because it interrupts what could have been a great promo, right? Like, you want to say like, oh, this, because CM Punk's his worst promos like 8, like, where you're like, oh, that's the best promo I've ever seen. And his 10s are like where he's kind of like changing the game or saying stuff about the business, and it's like you can tell it's a genuine philosophy. Like those are his 10s, right? So this falls in like, I guess the 8s to the 9s, not as in it was his worst. It's just he got interrupted and you didn't get to hear everything. But who you did get to hear is Seth Rollins. And I love this version. I love what he's doing with Bron Breakker. I love that one day him and Bron Breakker are going to fight, and Bron Breakker is going to eventually finally win that. Seth Rollins will like kind of pass the torch to him, and Bron Breakker will be the WWE World Champion on Netflix every week, which will be crazy. And he's not ready for that yet. They're bringing him along so smooth and groovy. And groovy. Who says groovy anymore? But sorry, I'm bringing back.
Form Jim does.
Yeah, I'm bringing back groovy and yonder. Out yonder, Jeff. Out yonder. So yeah, man, I love this segment. They get to tell a super long story. WWE's telling crazy good stories right now on all different levels, whether it's an A story, B, C, hell, now they're telling D, E, F's. Like they're giving you a lot of wrestling, and they're giving a lot of people at different levels opportunities to perform and improve their spot on the roster, to earn their spot if a contract's coming up. Like there's a lot of opportunities out there, and this is just another one of them for like the two most over dudes right now. But for Bron Breakker too. I love this story. It's going to be awesome. What did you think of it? You like CM Punk promos more than most people. You're like they're all 10s for you.
I was thinking to myself when you were saying it, like, yeah, I guess CM Punk isn't funny really much. But then you read A Fat Little Snake, and I was like, no, that was fun. Like he does make me laugh.
Yeah, fair enough.
In an uncomedic way, like he'll just have like a good enough zinger where I'm like, oh
yeah.
So I guess he's funny in that way. I also think
that's a good point.
CM Punk, I was afraid when he came back to WWE and he's making the big money and he finally gets to do WrestleMania and he finally gets to, or headline WrestleMania. When he kind of gets all those things, if he'd lose his edge. I was wondering, is he going to lose that like kind of chippiness, that kind of like, I've been wronged and it's almost a punk rock like thing about him. But I was always wondering, but nope, he came back to WWE. And I think now that he's at the top of the mountain, the world is almost in balance. And it feels like he's doing his best work. It feels like him, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, now that they're at the top, they almost have this confidence that has filled that little gap of insecurity that I felt in them back in the day. Because it's so hard in wrestling to get to the top of the mountain. It's so hard. And in show business, sometimes when someone gets a big movie role or it can kind of bring out the worst in them. They think, no one ever helped me, and then they get kind of like an ego. Not always, but sometimes. Mm-hmm. Whereas with these three guys that I just mentioned, like Cody, CM Punk, and Seth, it feels like they're doing their best stuff because they're finally getting what they think the recognition they should have always had. And I think I'm really enjoying watching all of it. It's been really, 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 really good. And to be fair, I wasn't a Seth fan or a CM Punk fan or a Cody Rhodes fan. And now that they're at that thing, I get it. I see it, and I understand that they're the best in the business currently. So it's been good. It's been really fun to watch. And CM Punk's mic work is as good as it's ever been. Like, as far as like he's the top at it.
He's the real deal, dude. He's the real deal. You get genuine senses of his philosophy on the business at times. And you're right when you say he does have a unique sense of humor, because he does say some shit every once in a while where you're like, oh, damn, I can't believe you said that. So, yeah, I think you're right. But, yeah, dude, they get to do this for a long time. They'll get to have an awesome SummerSlam. Breaker can screw the match up for Punk, and then that can make it go longer. Then he can deal with Breaker, then he can deal with Seth, and maybe Punk gets over on. I always say he's going to win the pay-per-view, or win the war. He might lose a battle, but win the war. But he might be in a position now where he's wanting to get other dudes over too. Now that he got to headline WrestleMania, I think.
And I don't know if anybody's commented this in wrestling yet, or like in these kind of forums, but I also like the way they're protecting Bron Breakker from having to really do any mic work. Like he just gets to be the cool new badass, and I really appreciate. I like that also.
Yeah, and he gets to learn under people that are like sick at it, like some of the best ever. It was Seth and Paul Heyman and CM Punk in whatever capacity they'll work together. But yeah, dude, and then this story spreads out because Seth Rollins wants control. He can deal with control. Paul Heyman says Jey Uso can't deal with control and power. It doesn't suit him. And the weight that Jey Uso felt when he said that, you could see like physical pain in his face and body when Heyman was criticizing his lack of having what it takes to maintain, your cool in a pressure situation. I was like, yo, holy shit, he's like so physical with his expression. It was great. But anyway, it's not about that. It's about Jay's title match is against Logan Paul on Saturday night's main event. I almost called it the Saturday night special. Seth Rollins orders his muscle Bron Breakker. He says, take that son of a bitch out backstage, which makes me worry that they're going to try to protect Jay in making him lose to Logan Paul at Saturday night's main event. I hope that's not the case. I think, didn't Logan win his last match? He did. I think he's due for a loss. And it would be nice to keep the belt on Jay because he's super freaking over. It would be so weird to see him without the title. We can get more into whether he's going to win or lose later. But this story is all intertwined because it goes from that and all of a sudden into Gunther as well, who's back from whipping ass. He beat Pat McAfee's ass. Jeff, you missed that episode, but we got to talk about that. It was really fun. And he's back. He's a badass. And now he's going to wrestle the winner of Logan Paul versus Jey Uso, which puts us in a conundrum, a predicament, a sticky situation. Is Gunther going to be a babyface or is he going to be a heel? Because if he faces Logan Paul, he's a babyface. And if he faces Jey Uso, he's a heel. So I put the question to you, Mr. Dye. What the fuck are they going to do with this triumvirate? Look at all these cool words I'm using. This triumvirate of power in the heavyweight division.
I don't know what they're going to do, but I am very not on with Jey Uso as I'm just so not. You don't get it. You don't like it. I don't understand. Yeah, and I know how hard it is to be a face. I know how hard it is to be a baby face as far as like, not personally, but I know that is very difficult. And for him to try to do that is hard, but I'm just not buying it. I feel like
we're on such opposite sides of the coin on this because I think he's doing such an amazing job and you don't click with it at fucking all.
I just don't get it.
Excuse my language, sorry.
I don't get it.
You want
very, very tricky.
Okay, so Logan Paul versus Jey Uso, you would rather see Logan Paul with the championship than Jey?
Yeah, it makes more sense to me as far as that Logan Paul is it just makes sense. I think like Logan Paul is like he's each match you go, wow, that's a real wrestler. That's good.
You're not wrong.
People get what he does. He comes down and we boo him. He's a smug little YouTube baby that we don't want to root for. It all makes total sense. Where with Jey Uso, it's kind of like the mic work is a little patchy. You know, have like one good one where you're like, oh, that's good.
I totally disagree. I think his mic work's so crisp and fun
Really?
and raw. I'm telling you,
Wow.
we feel it like it's. I'm saying the sky is blue, and you're saying it's black, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah,
I'm looking at the sky, and you're like, no, I'm looking at the sky. The moon is out, it's black, and I'm like, no, dude, the sun is shining, it's blue. I think he's doing great. He has a crowd in the palm of his hand. In the palm of his hand.
I don't know if he does.
Just not you. He doesn't have you.
I don't even think that he has the crowd in the palm of his hand. I don't know if I've said this on this podcast before, but it's like the Uso dance thing, the yeet where everyone's doing that. It's the fans do whatever the cheer is.
But they don't. But they do. If you don't get over, they do not care about your chant. And you have heard plenty of wrestlers who have said their call sign or done their big, and the crowd is just chirp, crickets, crickets. But dude, I've seen it happen a lot where their gimmick just doesn't get over. His gimmick got over.
Because like Enzo Amore might be one of the most popular most popular wrestlers to trash on, and people would even do his thing. He would come out there and be like, you know,
people loved his mic work,
yeah. And so the yeet thing, I'm gonna do it, you're gonna do it, Michael Cole's gonna do it, we're all gonna do it, but it's because everyone else is doing it. It doesn't necessarily mean we think he should be champion or we think he should be. People do the Seth Rollins song, like we're just so into like whatever the rest of them. We're so happy to be there that it's like we're just gonna do all the things. You know, we hold up the one. It doesn't mean we want Roman Reigns to win. So I think. I don't necessarily know if he's as over as we might think.
I disagree with everything you said, and we'll put it to a vote, and the judges agreed with me.
Oh, that was a quick vote.
They're right here. They all had their thumbs at the halfway part like Caesar.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just a hater when it comes to this Jey Uso.
Hater.
I liked the Usos. They were my favorite tag team. Big fan. I'm a fan of the bloodline. I like everything that's going on with all of that. I just never understood breaking them up and like trying to push Jey Uso. It seems so weird, and he's breaking twin code. He's breaking brother code. He's breaking tag team code. I don't see him as a singles guy.
Hey, sorry for being different. That's what Jey Uso just told you. He's like,
sorry, Rikishi.
Sorry for trying
I don't want to piss off Rikishi.
Sorry for trying to do it on my own, Jeff Dye. Sheesh, bro.
We're a family. We don't do things on our own.
Oh, man. You're just killing him. We totally disagree, bro. We totally disagree. All right.
I'm happy to change my position when the time comes.
Yeah, you like Miz now. All right. Friday Night SmackDown.
Came around.
The bloodline, or the new bloodline, as it should be known, is imploding. It's imploded. The moment Fatu took the mic the first time, it was over. The power had shifted. The fans spoke. He's just too freaking big and can do backflips off the top and do it like 8 times in a match and not get hurt because he's a beast. It's done. So I don't think there's any question. Even in like the writing and the performance from Solo, like he's like, okay, yeah, we're joking. Like he knows it's done. So even the characters themselves, their performance is reflective of that. So I don't think that's any question. I will say this though. Jacob Fatu's going to frigging headline WrestleMania one day, and it's going to be insane. Like he's going to be such a babyface or heel. I think he could do either one. But first, he's going to be a huge friggin' babyface star because that's what the crowd wants, and they're just too over on all his behavior and his yara mean and all that stuff. They love that too. And yeah, man, he's the star out of the 3. Shout out to Jeff Cobb and shout out to Solo Sikoa for trying to hold it together and be sort of the acting glue in it. But it's all about Jacob Fatu. He's the one that's the focal point of all this, and that dude's going to be a friggin' star as long as he can stay healthy and not break his friggin' ankles or take some gnarly friggin' injury. But usually the big guys stay healthier longer and can take a bigger beating. At least that was what I was told when I worked there at WWE, that their bodies could take more than the little guys could, and that's why they got the pushes to the big belts and the little guys usually didn't. Except for Shawn Michaels, who was made out of pipe cleaners. Vince once said his bones are made out of pipe cleaners. So yeah, man, I think it's all about Jacob Fatu. Jeff Cobb, like I said, is super cool, and I like Solo, but he got outshined by this guy, and the people have already spoken. This storyline can end whenever they're ready for it to explode, because it's all Fatu.
I don't know what they're doing with Solo Sikoa.
What can you do?
Very
they got surprised by this. They got surprised by Fatu getting so over so fast. Like what?
Yeah.
What can you do if you're getting booed for doing your job?
Well, not about being booed, but just even like losing match after match. I mean, he's basically jobbing at this point. But like,
well, he won his qualifier. He won his qualifier on SmackDown.
A year ago, he was like in every main storyline. He was like, I mean, I remember gushing about him on this podcast, being like, he's just immediately in all the storylines. Like it was insane how quick he was at the top of the mountain, and now doesn't whatever. JC Mateo, I'm getting used to saying that. That's only been his name for what, a week or something? Like Jeff Cobb is how I know him. I think it might be the first time I've ever known a wrestler based on everybody's rumors. Like I kind of was going and looking at this stuff because I knew he was going to get called up or whatever the term is in wrestling. I like Jeff Cobb. Don't know much about him. I was very excited to have another Jeff in pro wrestling. I was like, yeah, Jeff. And then they named him JC Mateo, but that's all right. But I think you nailed it right on the head. It's all about Jacob Fatu. You got to give everything to Jacob Fatu. He's what everybody likes. He looks cool. He's explosive. His wrestling moves are great. He's got a great look. Got a great moniker, the Samoan werewolf. I think everything about Jacob Fatu points in his direction, but I'm still hoping they make a big super bloodline where it's all the guys in the real bloodline together, guys and girls.
I think they will. All this conflict will one day resolve like in a Royal Rumble match, and all of a sudden it'll be like all bloodline in the ring, and they're just going to be amazing. Fuck up anybody who comes in and just keep throwing them out, until they're the only ones left, and it's going to be a Samoan that wins the whole thing. Like that would be the sickest Royal Rumble.
It'd be amazing. Like make like an NWO, except it's all bloodline.
Hell
and that includes Nia Jax, The Rock, the Roman. I mean, it'd be amazing.
Drew McIntyre limped his ass out and cut an awesome promo to the crowd and sold the whole time the pain that he was in and the frustration, and thought he did a great job. Even when the dialogue went a little sideways, like he played it as emotion, and it was such like a perfect, beautiful recovery. Like I was like, holy shit! Like this guy's like just nailing everything. Like there's no editing necessary. Like he's killing this. But he basically came out and was like, look, Damian Priest, I whipped your ass. I beat you down in your own match in front of your own people, and you're still freaking going to try and cost me a match at the United States Championship. Like I would have been a Grand Slam champ. Like that, and that's your fault. Which was a nice way to remind us of that match. It didn't need to be said, but I thought it was a nice pull. And then he basically says, dude, you're obsessed. He Mariah carries him. He's like, you're obsessed with me, man. Like what's your fucking deal? Like you just can't get enough of Drew McIntyre. And I thought this was awesome. And they're going to meet and they're going to fight in a friggin' steel cage and have one last match at Saturday night's main event. I can't wait, man. Like the last friggin' South of Heaven chokeslam he did through that table where he came up and Priest's mouth was bloody because something hit him in the face. I was like, oh my God, that was so sick and awesome. It looks so good. So I can't wait for these two dudes to wrestle again. This kind of reinforces something I said a long time ago. It's like not everyone needs to be in the title picture as long as you have a good reason to fight one another. And you can make it work and stretch it out and make it last if you got dudes on the mic that are really, really good. Drew's special on the microphone. It's crazy to see that dude's growth from when he first got called up to now. That's like next level shit. And Damian Priest is pretty good on the mic too. He's able to communicate his message and let you know how he's feeling without it feeling, fake or phony. So yeah, dude, I'm really looking forward to it, dude. What about you? Did you like that promo, or was it too acty?
I liked it a lot. I think it's great. I think with Drew McIntyre, sometimes I forget about him. He'll be gone for so long, or just kind of out of the zeitgeist of what they're telling, that I get lost in all the other stories. Then I'm like, oh yeah, Drew McIntyre. And I think that happens with me with a lot of superstars. Like I'm like, oh yeah, like Damian Priest. Like for whatever reason, I feel like Gunther could disappear for 3 months and then he'd come back and I'd be like, oh yeah, I love Gunther. Like I think Gunther's really good at that. So I'm excited about it. I'm hyped up about it. I'm going to say this like later in the podcast also, but this Saturday night booking might be the best lineup I've seen in a long time.
For free.
I like every match.
Yeah, dude. And I love when they do this kind of stuff. We used to pitch this when I worked there, and we weren't the first writer's room that did it. I'm sure every writer's room pitched it because everyone loves Saturday night's main event. But yeah, dude, it's like a free pay-per-view. You should get special matches.
It's amazing.
A title should change hands potentially because that never happens on regular TV. You have to buy a pay-per-view for that. And so when it does happen, that's a special event. So I think that's why, by the way, we're talking Gunther again. I hate to back up, but I really want to see, now I want to see Logan Paul win because I want to see Gunther versus Logan Paul. And I want to see a full-on babyface Gunther. I think that would be unreal. I don't know if they can do it because he's been such a good heel. It'd be a shame to like lose another heel on the roster because then you got to flip someone the other way to kind of balance it out and have guys have reasons to fight. But dude, Gunther versus Logan friggin' Paul. They're about the same on the mic. Gunther's a little more confident on the mic than Logan, but it's his second language, so there's a little bit of a barrier there. But so they're about the same on the mic, and the match would just be an absolute beating, just a mauling, and you could get the belt back on Gunther. And I think Logan would for sure do the job to Gunther. I think he gets it enough to know that. But he could get a win over Jey Uso. And I hate to back up like this, but once you said his name again, I was like, man, babyface Gunther.
Be great.
Oh, my God, dude.
I'd be there for it. I like it.
Babyface freaking Gunther? Come on, man. Everybody would go crazy in the crowd if he came out at the end of that match of Jey and Logan wins it on Saturday night's main event and just comes out and doesn't shake his hand, but just comes out and does that like nod that he gives the guy where he's like, that's your it's your ass, dude. You belong to me. Like that would be so sick. It would feel like a UFC fight, man. It would feel so cool, man. I would love to see that. Anyway, I didn't mean to get sidetracked. All right, finally in the WWE, Tiffany Stratton. She retained her title against Nia Jax, and everyone thinks this is kind of going towards, which would be awesome, a fatal four-way between Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, who tried to interfere in the match, Jade Cargill, who came out and put ass beating on Naomi because she just hates her, but also for interfering in the match, and Nia Jax. That could be an awesome fatal four-way. But then you get Alexa Bliss. She wins her Money in the Bank match. Until they have a story for Alexa, I don't see her going for the title. I think once they kind of establish her as I think they're going Wyatt, everyone thinks they're going Wyatt 6 with her. Once she kind of heads that up and they have a mouthpiece that can communicate their message at a top level, she's a top level promo or actor when she wants to be. I like her behind the scenes stuff or behind the camera stuff more, behind the scenes stuff more than the in-ring stuff. The segments, the backstage segments. That's what I was trying to say. But yeah, so I think you could get a fatal four-way with them, which would be cool. But it's going to be Stratton that wins. She's getting better on the microphone. She's really fun to watch in the ring. She's playing a lot of confidence right now. It seems like she can handle the pressure in a much different way than like Jey Uso expresses dealing with the pressure. Like she's like, no, bring it on. And Jay's like, oh man, I don't know. So I'm really liking what they're doing with her. That's probably the first time I've said that. I thought that they kind of pushed her too fast, but her last promo and her last match, I was like, God damn, girl. Like she's kind of doing her thing. So shout out to her in that match. And the women's division in the WWE is fucking ridiculous. Like the way they've protected Jade and they're bringing Jade along is so much smarter than how they did it in AEW. And I know everybody said that, but I just, to notice it on a weekly basis is like kind of like, wow, they just make her look good. Like there's never a part where you're like, ah, shit. You know what I mean? Like this is going to be too much. Like they're bringing her along so smooth. And I think they're doing I'm loving WWE right now more than AEW. AEW's got great matches, but the stories, it's been all tournament stuff, so the stories haven't really been there. The WWE stories are like when my mom used to watch soap operas during the day and like chilling in the house, drinking a little Franzia, maybe a little day drink, you know what I'm saying? And she'd have her soaps on in the background like that. And just, I knew like that was my mom at her utmost happiest like vibe, like with the back door, sliding glass door open, the wind coming in New Mexico to keep it cool. And she has her soaps and a little wine. Like that's me with the WWE right now. And we moved, Jeff. So now I have a movie theater to watch this shit in. It's
hell yeah,
dude. It feels like cheating. Like it's so sick. My daughter's in there watching with me. My son, he's not as into wrestling as my daughter and I. And she's not as into it as I am. But even he's in there and he's like, whoa, Dad, this is pretty cool. I was like, yeah, man.
I love it.
We were watching a lucha match. But yeah, so anyway, just wanted to throw that in there too. Any final thoughts on the women's division or on the Friday Night SmackDown?
I would say that I'm the biggest hater when it comes to the women's division, and I've been very into it. They're doing great. I think who deserves a special shout out is Chelsea Green and Zelina Vega.
Hell yes.
Both of them are doing their best stuff right now and literally elevating the division while being good sports about it also. Like as far as like they've found the women's division has kind of found its two new leaders, and they're so honorable with that position of being the new leaders. As far as like Chelsea Green's going on Twitter defending other female wrestlers when fans shoot on them. She's being like such a team player about what happened at WrestleMania, not like getting a match even though she had the strap. Like there's so many different things that Zelina Vega and Chelsea Green have been helping elevate the women's division, because it seems like the women's division, maybe just in storyline, can be a little chippy. Like, why is Jade already getting the chances? And but you can see these kind of gossipy kind of things. That's maybe in story mode. It might be real. I'm kayfabe Jeff. I don't really know. But Chelsea Green seems honorable with her power and is doing such a great job. And so is Zelina Vega as champ. So I think those two have single-handedly make me care more about the women's division than I ever have. And it's been fun to watch. Everything's been really fun to watch. I'm hoping they bring over our girl from AEW, and that'll kind of take the Tiffany Stratton thing to the next universe. That's my prediction.
Oh, you mean Mariah May?
I think Mariah May comes to WWE.
They're going to stack that division, and it's going to be so huge. And those new additional belts have helped out so much with storyline for them, so that the stories, they have this whole extra, like, well, I'm going to chase a belt storyline instead of just constantly having to have personal gossipy conflict, right? Like,
I also think, I just thought of this. Every time I cry about how a wrestler I like isn't getting pushed, or I cry that a wrestler where has he been and why is he? Really, I should just be grateful of how blessed I am with so much wrestling.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many wrestlers that you can't give everyone the rub. You can't give everyone the belt. You can't give everyone. There's just so many wrestlers that they can fire 20 of them and still not use guys that I like and still be using guys. So like we're really just in a great age where we have so much wrestling. And so when you just said that about the women's division, it's like, I hope that they hire 20 more girls to be pro wrestling. And then we have the same complaints about like, why aren't they using Bayley and why aren't they using, it's because we just have so many female wrestlers and so many male wrestlers that we're all drunk with, we're like kids playing with our action figures and we can't play with all of them at the same time. And so I hope that's the problem. I hope that they just bring everybody.
No, it's a good problem to have. It's frustrating for the talent that feels like they're being buried, but it's a good problem to have, and you're still in a good spot. You know, you don't hear me up here crying that they're not pushing Karrion Kross. You know why? Because his time's going to come, and that fool will be ready.
Great example,
and it'll be awesome. But you don't see me with a sign that says, "If you don't push him, I'm going to riot." No, because I understand.
Yeah, but we should be happy too.
There's a lot of good
it's
stuff
not
out
just
there.
the era of Hulk Hogan is champ every pay-per-view, and Hulk Hogan will be the like. It's kind of nice that we have so much wrestling that we can be little spoiled brats about how our favorites aren't getting the, and it probably makes the competition in that locker room like more tense. It's probably for the best.
Agreed, sir. WWE's awesome. On the Unsanctioned Thursday show, we're going to get into some AEW and give you guys some predictions. Now, I've looked at the stats, and I am the first to admit my AEW predictions are not as accurate as my WWE ones. So I will let you know where my confidence level is at on each pick. I'm not just going to play it like I know my shit, all right? I've never worked at AEW. I've only worked at WWE. I kind of know how they like to book things, and I get it right over 70% of the time. AEW is, we won't throw the numbers out, but they're not good. So thank y'all for listening to Wednesday's show. Remember, you can reach out to us on our socials. But yeah, write us a review. If you write a mean one, Jeff's going to get pissed at you. I won't. But if you write a nice one, everybody's going to love you. And our bosses appreciate that crap too, so that's always cool. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tune in tomorrow for Unsanctioned Thursdays. On behalf of Jeff Dye, I'm Freddie Prinze Jr., and this has been another episode of Wrestling with Friends. Peace.
We out.